The research, which is aimed at identifying the key gaps in early childhood development in 5 regions of the North, was conducted by the University for Development Studies UDS Department for Sustainable Development Studies. Its key findings revealed a high deficit in early childhood classroom infrastructure, lack of standardized tables and chairs for pupils, lack of teaching and learning materials, specialized teachers for the sector in the northern regions. The research finding further revealed an overcrowding situation at all the basic schools, making it difficult for classroom management, whereas teachers who study early childhood education at the various tertiary levels refuse posting to the various nursery and KG classrooms. The lead researcher, Dr. Chris Anabi, in an interview with GH1 News, further revealed a lot of schools in the northern region lack early childhood teachers, which he expressed as worrying at the basic level in the northern regions.
Teachers who go to specialize in the area of early childhood education do not really teach at the early childhood level. They rather prefer to teach at the upper primary or the junior high school level. And that is really a source of concern, because that tender age of education really need professionals who are trained in the pedagogy of how to handle the children in child-centered methodologies. And they have gone to learn that. Yet, throughout our research, we didn't find them on the ground. I mean, in some cases, you will find teachers with a diploma in basic education or degree in basic education, but not degrees in early childhood development. And in some of the cases, it was just 0%. You know, a few cases, you have about 20% of the teachers at the kindergarten level in a district having qualifications in degrees in early childhood education. I mean, the situations were quite serious in places like the Busa North districts, where we found out also in the Nanuba North districts, there were issues like that where you just cannot find specialized teachers in the ECG in the kindergarten level of the schools.
Dr. Anabi further said about 50 to 90% of children from age 0 to 8 years are abused, slapped by their mothers, or as a sign of correction.
That, well, we are all struggling to move away from physical abuse of the children. Remember, in the Ghana Education Service now, caning of children is outlawed. You're not supposed to cane any child again. If you do that, then you fall foul of the GES regulations. You know, it's only under specialized conditions that some of these things corporal punishment can be done. But in the families, through this research, when we ask the simple question, your child who is less than 8 years old, if the child behaves in a way that you don't like as a mother, what will you do? It was quite shocking that we found between 50 to 90% of the mothers telling us in all the districts that we interviewed that if my child does that, I will slap the child or I will shout on the child. You know, when there are other positive disciplinary measures that can be employed.
The country manager of Children Believe, Isenam Kavi D'Souza, appealed to government and the Ghana Education Service to increase budget allocation to the early childhood education unit to enhance the quality of education.
So based on the findings of the assessment, we are calling for more investment into early childhood development. We are calling for investment in training of early childhood caregivers and teachers, infrastructure for early childhood, development. If you go to most of our rural areas, the children are pushed under trees or under makeshift structures, whilst those of the upper primary and junior high schools are the ones giving the classrooms. We think that this narrative must change. The local governments must begin to invest more in early childhood development.
From Tamale, Noah Nash for GH1 News.